Hi, class. I am Micaela Prince, and I will be teaching you about the basics of memory encoding. So today, our learning objectives will be one for you students to be able to understand what memory is and the basics of how it is stored in the brain. The importance of this is having a stronger developed understanding of the workings of our own brains in regards to memory allows us to be able to consciously utilize our memories to their fullest extent. So, starting out the lesson, what do we know about memory?
Long-term and short-term memory.
That's awesome. Yes.
Sensory stimuli is essential memory.
Yes.
The ability for our brains to record information or store it.
And so that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Those are all very good answers. My definition is very similar to yours. The memory is our label for the ability our brains have to store and recall information from past experiences. Physically, memory is the altering of a cell through particular proteins to store place and time specific information. Memory is still a very elusive and mysterious field of study, even with today's many scientific advancements. In the past, theories have compared the brain system of memory to a filing cabinet. The two areas of the brain thought to house this filing cabinet were the hippocampus and the frontal cortex. The hippocampus, it was thought, received and logged memories before passing them deeper into the brain to the frontal cortex, which was considered the storage for older memories. The previous notions about the hippocampus and the frontal cortex were not quite accurate, but the hippocampus and the frontal cortex are indeed important structures in the process of memory storage, which is what we will be talking about. The hippocampus is associated with securing and strengthening short-term and long-term memory, and the frontal cortex is more widely associated with the responsibilities of short-term memory. Throughout this lesson, however, we will be talking more. Does anyone have questions thus far? Yes.
Wait, so you said it was old thinking that it was filing cabinets in the hippocampus and frontal cortex?
Yes.
So therefore, there is new thinking?
Yes, yes. So we're going to be talking about it. It's not a filing cabinet anymore. So what is memory encoding? I've said memory storage, and I entitled my PowerPoint here, memory encoding. What is it? Memory encoding is the process in which something perceived by the body is converted into something that the brain can store and later recall, which was exactly your definition for memory. Today, though there is still much to learn, it is believed that the process of encoding, storing, and recalling memories is not just the job of one specific or two specific areas of the brain. Many areas all over the brain, it seems, make up a group of systems of neurons, nerve cells that convey and manage information through electrical currents and chemicals, and synapses, the connection between these neurons, may all have a part in handling memories. So it's not just the hippocampus and the frontal cortex being a filing. This diagram here is intended to be the 1968 Atkinson-Shiffrin model for memory. We won't be discussing this model specifically again, but I think it outlines the concepts which we'll be discussing. The basics: stimuli, person receiving stimuli, perceiving stimuli, giving attention to stimuli, short-term memory. Short-term memory may be encoded. This is a pre-lesson activity. So just talk with your table partner and discuss a simple memory from your child, and we'll be kind of analyzing the concepts that go into the child.
It's true. Earliest memory. I was in my apartment, and I was on this thing called a Barney Mobile, and I went down a hill, and I went over the
You know when you're raw, I read it. It was like organic class. That's by the time I was 5, I had gotten the entire team.
It was the 90s little helmets that barely cover your head. Yeah, they don't work. They break in half, basically. So yeah.
When I was little, we were eating dinner outside because we had like an outside table, and we were taking everything in, and we started having sour cream fight. Throwing sour cream.
Okay, so has everyone discussed their memories? Does everyone have one in mind? Okay, good. So, these memories might seem like one thing. However, there are many aspects that make up these memories. Mine was jumping on a trampoline. There is what the trampoline looks like, the purpose of the trampoline, how to bounce, what it feels like to bounce, the emotions felt while bouncing, the surroundings of the trampoline, etc. Does anyone have a memory to share?
Playing t-ball.
Okay, yeah, so there's what t-ball is, there's how it feels to have that bat in your hand, what a tee is, how that feels, how that looks, what it feels like to connect with the ball on the tee. There are many aspects that go into these memories. All of these aspects come from all over the brain. The system of neuron that links all these memories together, these aspects of this one memory, is so complex that we can't even tell that it isn't stored in one specific unit of the brain. Synapses really connect everything together. Literally, synapses are the points at which nerve cells are joined together. Electrical pulses in the brain carry messages through synapses. These connections between the brain's nerve cells have the ability to change. As actions are done over and over again, for instance, as more and more electrical pulses are sent through the synapses, knowledge and information are firmly into the brain through strengthened synapses. All the synapses do not have the same strength. Strength can vary. A weaker synapse has less effect on the neuron to which it is connected than stronger synapses. Memory, as well as learning, is encoded by the modification of synapse strength. Powerful stimulation strengthens synapses, and that is called long-term potentiation, while weaker stimulation leads to a weakening of synapses, and this is called long-term depression. A picture of neurons and synapses. Here's a neuron, here's a neuron. I don't know if you can see very well, but they're all connected with these little lines. Some are stronger, some are brighter than others, because those are actually the stronger ones connecting the neurons. So those are the ones that will actually be holding stronger memories. However, though synapses can be strengthened and strengthened and strengthened, there is a point at which they cannot be strengthened anymore. To modify the synapse strength, the molecular complex calcium comodulin-dependent protein kinase 2, I really want to look at it and say CAMKI, dictates the strength of the synapse. So this is required to strengthen synapses. Evidence suggests that this is how memory is stored. We know what it's made of. That is, we know the compounds from which it is formed. We do not, however, to my knowledge, quite understand how it physically works to enable memory formation and encoding. But we do know that this is the protein that is used. The concept that stronger synaptic connections create stronger memories aids the concept that different sensory experiences can trigger a specific memory better than other sensory experiences. This is because a synaptic connection of the neurons that holds one sensory experience of the memory may be stronger than others. For instance, does a certain smell make you think of a specific memory?
Yes.
Does the smell aid your memory of its event better than, say, a sight from the same event? Does the feel of something remind you of a specific memory that, say, the smell cannot? This not only lends itself to the concept of synaptic connection strength, but also the concept that the mind stores the many aspects of memory in different places all around the brain. Anyone have any questions thus far?